Hi guys, we all work at West London Airlines and we are the HR department there. We all have individual job roles. My name is Aiden.
My name is Maizat.
I'm Petra. My name is Vasiliki.
And today we're going to be telling you why you should include our job roles in your company, in your new HR department.
Hello, my name is Vasiliki Athanasou and I'm working at HR department of West London Airlines. Today I will briefly talk about the history of the human resources as well as the main purposes of HR. According to Patricia Harris, 2013, the history of human resource management has progressed through the ages from times when the workers were abused in the slave, like working conditions, to the modern environment where the people are viewed as assets to business. In fact, today, the productivity itself is seen as a byproduct of a good human resources management. Thus, we find that human resources management will become increasingly dynamic in future, and this process of evolution will continue. Nowadays, human resources management function is complex as an organizational structure, although the position of HR is existed in most of the businesses. Here are the main purposes and the objectives of the human resource due to Jacob Rothich, 2015. Human resource management is a strategic and logical approach to the management of an organization's most valued assets. The people that work in a business contribute to the success of the objectives. In simple words, HRM means hiring people, developing their abilities, maintaining and rewarding their services in tune with the job requirements. Let's get through the main functions areas associated with effective human resource management. First, hiring, to ensure that the organization has the right number of employees with the right number of skills in the right jobs at the right time to achieve organizational objectives. The staffing process involves job analysis, human resources planning, recruitment, and selection. Second, talent development. This consists of training and development, career planning, organization development, performance management, and appraisal. Third is compensation, which includes rewards that individuals receive as a result of their employment. It consists of direct and indirect financial compensation as well as a non-financial compensation. Last function is labor law compliance. Compliance with labor and employment law is a critical HR function. Non-compliance can result in workplace complaints based on unfair employment practices, unsafe working conditions, and general dissatisfaction with working conditions. That can affect productivity and profitability as well. Mainly, that is all about the purposes of HRM.
Hello, my name is Petra and I'm going to be talking to you about the best practice consideration for effective recruitment and selection. Recruiting is to do with attracting people from an appropriate field, whereas selection is concerned with deciding which is the most suitable person to hire. The definition of recruitment is concerned with all activities directed towards locating potential employees. It's also about stimulating the interest of potential candidates and attracting applications from suitable candidates. According to HR Review 2014 website, the issues and factors that we consider are mainly the budget, time, and resources, making sure that there isn't any legalization and discrimination. We also take into consideration the amount of responses received and examining the public sector. If the recruitment procedure goes wrong, however, the consequences are re-recruitment for the role, ineffective induction, additional training required, and the company's image may be put at risk. There are a range of recruitment methods that we use in our company. One of the most popular methods is advertising, but that can be expensive. Word of mouth and job centers are most cost effective. Another method that we use are agencies because they sometimes place adverts for free. Online recruitment is also cost-effective and reaches a wider range of applicants. The factors that would impact our choice of selection depend on how complex the level of the job is, how suitable the candidate is for the job role, and the budget of the company that we have. The suitability of the candidate is also taken into consideration, and the essential skills that they have. The most suitable candidate would be chosen through interviews such as an individual one-to-one interview, telephone, or a panel interview. Work sampling is also considered at times, depending on the job role, and psychological assessments. Overall, the most suitable approach depends on the job role. The effective recruitment and selection can impact the company in two ways. It can create a good public image, and a more appropriate fit-for-purpose workforce. And overall, the recruitment and selection process should allow a fair opportunity for all candidates.
Including ethics in your recruitment process will mean that you've got a multi-skilled workforce that adds value to the company, making sure that this allows us to keep in line with legislation as well. If someone disagrees that you've done this, they can take you to court and it can cause a lot of legal problems, costing you and your business money. It also develops the company itself, ethics and values, meaning that people will be able to look at your company and as something to aspire to, one that's working well with people and different communities. Johnson in 2003 once said that all HR practices have an ethical foundation. And that just shows that everything that you do in HR should be containing ethics. So now moving on, because you should be containing it, how can you include it? Well, you can include it in things like the recruitment process when interviewing people, not asking women if they are planning on having children, because every question you have needs to be justified and not unreasonable. Many companies ask people's ethnicities, for instance, in the applicant process when people are applying online, whether that's with CVs or things like that. And they'll ask their ethnicity, and that's completely fine as long as you're not using that directly in the interview process to penalise someone or even give them a better chance, and you're storing that data securely and confidentially separate, because if someone does bring up a case, you can use that and say, look, here's the evidence, we've been asking people of different sexes, ethnicities, and all those other things that make a workplace and a company even better. So under the 2010 Act, it's unlawful to discriminate against someone just for a reason that, for instance, they're disabled and say that they can't come to the interview because there's no step-free access. You need to make those adjustments if someone is disabled, for instance, with a physical disability. So now moving on to key concepts in the recruitment selection processes. Key concepts in the recruitment selection processes, such as GUESS 2000, say there's a strong association between HRM and the workplace performance, because if you've got the right recruitment process and selection process, it'll attract stronger and more positive people from those labour markets. And then also Armstrong 2010 said that the reasons behind selection in the recruitment process is to find the most suitable candidates, and also you're able to, from there, estimate their ability to carry out the function as well as the role. This is done by analysing their characteristics such as their previous work experience, their qualifications that they've gained from school, college or education. So now, how does HR work with other parts of the company? We work in our HR team with other parts of the company, things like strategic planning, and this is where we'll look at what resources we've got at the moment, what resources are falling behind, and what resources we're going to need in the future. So we'll go to the finance team and say, are you all overworked? Do you need someone else? They might not at the moment, but in a year's time, we've got a new contract coming up, and that means they are going to need new people. Let's get those people in now, let's get them trained, so then we don't need to do it in the future. And then finally, we've got workplace planning. That's called workplace planning, and that can be reflected by things like supply and demand. And the demand is the change in the company, such as the new positions coming up. We've got the new contracts coming up. We're going to need more people in the finance team. And then the supply is people in like the external factors, such as the labour markets are gone down because less people have decided to go to university 3 years ago, which are affecting us now, and the economy has gone down, so there are less jobs available. And then also we've got internal factors and constraints, which are things like budgets. So we'll find that if we're making less money, we've got less of a budget to pay people money. And we'll also use things like the 3Fs, which is effective, efficient and fair. And this is to stop issues. Effective, we need an effective recruitment process. We need an efficient one, which works well. And with a fair one, with them ethical issues, again, making sure it's fair to everyone. And that's everything. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Maizat. Today I'll be talking to you about the different delivery modes and equality and diversity in recruitment and selection. Human resource management has changed throughout the years. Now employees are seen more as capital in the business instead of like a resource to gain profit. Like Mayor wrote, nothing is achieved in an organization without people. Now there are more steps to ensure that HR is delivered well and to all employees. It is important that when employees are happy, they perform well, which leads to the success of a business. The AMO process is a model that explains the link between HR and the performance of a business. When an employee has training, pay satisfaction, and work-life balance, they become committed to their work and they're more motivated to lead and this leads to job satisfaction. There are two types of HR models, hard HR and soft HR. Hard HR treats the employees of the business just like another resource, like machinery or business. The main focus is to recruit, to manage, and to fire accordingly. Soft HR is about treating the employees like capital in the business. They're the most important resource in the business. Staff are treated like individuals and their needs are taken into account. Soft HR motivates the employees by giving them incentives to work harder and to complete the job to their best ability. An example of a hard HR model, is the Michigan model. The model is about planning and guiding the employees around the business plan. An example of soft HR model is the Harvard model. This model is about how the manager's responsibility to make decision about the organization and its employees. Now I'll talk to you about equality and diversity in the recruitment and selection. Equality and diversity are very important in the workplace, especially when it comes to recruitment and selection. When choosing a new employee, the employer must be fair and give everyone the same opportunity. Equality means giving everyone the same chance. According to CIPD, equality and diversity means managing diversity and valuing everyone as an individual, valuing people as employees, customers, and clients. This means that in the workplace, everyone must be seen as an individual and must be judged based on their skills and qualities. There are laws to protect people against discrimination. The Equality Act 2010, it states that all employers must not discriminate under 9 categories, such as age, disability, or sexual orientation. There are many benefits to having diversity in the workplace, and benefits include a more skilled workforce. Employees are more open and aware of the people around them, and it also creates flexibility in relationships with multinational organizations.
And that, guys, is why we think that you should include our job roles in your new HR company, and why it's important. Everything we spoke about improves our company every day and keeps us moving forward ethically, making sure we've got the latest recruitment programs and making sure that our company is the best it can be.
Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed.